What do we got next here? Oh, take a look at this, chat. So, chat, I think it was the last time we streamed, we talked about this tweet from Nick Fuentes, how this tweet went like crazy viral. At the time of this recording, this tweet has 99.9 million views on it. Like utter insanity. Look at these engagement. 21K replies, 36K retweets, 52K likes, 13K bookmarks. Like this tweet blew the fuck up, and it got a lot of negative attention towards Nick Fuentes. This was in regards to there was ongoing discourse on Twitter in regards to abortion rights for women and stuff like that. And Nick Fuentes' response to the discourse was, "Your body, my choice, forever," which is a really fucked up thing to say. I think we can all agree. Really fucked up thing to say. No man has any control over any woman's body. And if you think you do, you're a fucking freak, okay? Like, just plain and simple. But yeah, he got a lot of backlash for this tweet. There were a lot of people who were doxing him on Twitter, which, look, it's Nick Fuentes. I understand. Very controversial figure. Not someone, I definitely don't agree with his views on a lot of things. But for obvious reasons, I can't encourage people to be doxing people and stuff like that. As bad of a person as Nick Fuentes is, I can't encourage that kind of behavior. But having said that, a lot of people were doing that, and some people even showed up to his house. And we had this infamous incident that I'm going to show you guys here. Let me restart the clip from the beginning. There was a woman who was outside of Nick Fuentes' home. She was apparently filming the outside of the home, and according to her, somebody else who was a passerby encouraged her to go ring his doorbell. And so she went to do that. And before she could even ring the doorbell, this happened. Nick Fuentes pepper sprayed the woman who doxed him allegedly. By the way, this is misinformation, trauma alert. This person is not responsible for the doxing of Nick Fuentes, okay? This is literally just a woman who showed up to his house, which I've talked about this before. Don't show up to people's houses. Whether it's a content creator you like, a content creator you dislike, a social media figure that you like or dislike, whatever the case may be, don't show up to people's houses. Not only are you putting yourself in potential legal trouble, but also you're putting your life at risk. So just don't do it, okay? My advice, like I said, I understand Nick Fuentes, bad dude, don't agree with the guy on so many levels. Just don't do it though, okay? Just keep yourself safe, don't do it. But anyway, let's take a look at this and let's see what happened. We already watched this in my previous segment on this, but we'll take a look at it anyway. Here we go.
Hi. Oh my God, what are you doing?
So as we looked at before, last time we looked at this, he went to ring the doorbell, and if you look closely, he hops out and pepper sprays her before she hasn't even ring the doorbell. See that? Her finger is headed towards the doorbell. She hadn't even rang the doorbell yet, and he pops out and he pepper sprays her and then pushes her down the stairs and takes her phone.
Hi. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
See? Takes her phone. And I don't know what the justification for that was. Like, why? It's bad enough pepper spraying her the way she is. Because here's the thing. She shouldn't have showed up to his home. That's for sure. But just because somebody shows up to your home, it doesn't give you the right to, like, instantly just, like, in this case, like, pepper spray them and push them down your steps. Like, I'm sorry. The law doesn't permit that. The law permits things like, your right to defend yourself if somebody like invades your home and stuff like that. But somebody simply ringing your doorbell or attempting to ring your doorbell is not justification to pepper spray them and then assault them in your front yard and then steal their property. Like, I'm sorry, you don't have a right to do that in that situation. And the woman did admit she was in the wrong in going to the house. Fair enough. But anyway, there's the clip. You guys seen it. And at the time this clip came out, some of you guys may remember, one in the chat if you remember this, I speculated, what if this comes into, like, what if this becomes like a Boogie situation? Where Boogie was doing what he thought he had to do to defend himself. Like it was a self-defense type situation in Boogie's view. But he ended up in legal trouble because what he did was wrong. I was like, I'm willing to put money on this, that like he's probably going to end up catching a charge over this situation. You guys remember that, chat? Do any of you guys remember me speculating on the fact that he was probably going to catch a charge for this situation? Well, guess fucking what, chat? Guess fucking what? I posted this on Blue Sky. How it started versus how it's going. We got a mugshot, chat, because Tippy was right. He caught a charge because you can't pepper spray someone and push them down your fucking steps and steal their property just because they tried to ring your doorbell. Okay? We can all agree, chat, that she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have gone to his home like that. But having said that, it doesn't give you a right to assault someone just because they show up at your home. Okay? The law doesn't work that way. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this a little bit more. I wanted to show this tweet before we dive into the actual article, because this is just insanity. You know, there's so many people, you know, that will look at, like, you know, leftist or progressive content creators, and they're like, why do you guys speak, you know, so much in support of, like, you know, trans people and stuff like that? Or why are trans people a common talking point for you guys? It's because of people like the Quartering here, where, like, they have so much, you know, transgender derangement syndrome that they make everything about trans people. Let's take a look at this tweet here. I don't agree with Nick Fuentes on a lot, but what kind of world is it where you can't pepper spray some T-slur? Keep in mind, the woman was not trans. The woman was not trans. But he's talking about, we can't pepper spray some T-slur who stalks us at our homes. This is absurd. That woman was not trans. Whoa, what the fuck? The Quartering just out here being yet again another misinformation merchant and like a hateful sack of shit. But it's no surprise there, considering this is literally the guy who took a sponsorship from an actual book publishing company that, you know, is run by Nazis. If you don't believe me, I did a segment on that a while back. Be sure to take a look at it. But there you go. So, yeah, I had to show you that tweet because that tweet was just so fucking stupid. Let's dive into the article, though. Let's take a look at this. I have an article from The Guardian pulled up here where we can dive into this in more detail. It says, white supremacist Nick Fuentes charged over Chicago pepper spray incident. Far-right influencer allegedly attacked a woman outside his house after he tweeted misogynistic statement. Let's go ahead and let's dive into it, and let's find out what happened here. Could you move your little, like, ad thing, please? See, this is why, like, old media is dying. Because look at this shit. I'm on this webpage and there's, like, fucking ad here, fucking ad here. There was an ad that was blocking, like, the content. Like, this is ridiculous. This is why mainstream media is dying. Anyway, let's continue. The notorious white supremacist Nick Fuentes is facing battery charges in Illinois because authorities say he pepper sprayed a woman who had knocked on his front door after he engaged many on the internet by tweeting the misogynistic slogan, "Your body, my choice," following Donald Trump's victory in the recent presidential election. And again, a brief correction here. The woman didn't even knock on the door yet. They didn't knock on the door. They didn't ring the doorbell. They were about to, but they didn't even get the chance to do that before he flung the door open, pepper sprayed them, and knocked them on their ass by pushing them down steps. Fuentes, 26, was arrested on the 27th of November on a count of misdemeanor battery and released the same day, according to documents filed on Wednesday in the Cook County Circuit Court that were reported on by the Chicago Sun-Times. He is tentatively scheduled to appear in court on the 19th of December. So coming up here pretty soon, he's going to be in court for this situation. The far-right, avowedly anti-Semitic influencer seemingly sought to make light of his legal predicament on Friday on social media, publishing a post on X that contained a thinly disguised racial slur as well as the words "free me." Meanwhile, the Jewish feminist activist pressing the case against Fuentes, 57-year-old Marla Rose, also commented on social media, writing on Facebook, "It is on." She added, "Civil case pending." Oh, God. So this isn't even just going to be like a criminal case thing. Like, she's looking to get a civil case going and get some kind of damages from him. Oh, boy. To the post that displayed 3 fire emojis. Fuentes invited the digital sphere's fury by celebrating Trump's return to the presidency at the expense of Kamala Harris on the 6th of November with a barbed tweet on X reading, "Your body, my choice forever." The post taunting the concept of women's bodily autonomy, along with the 2022 elimination of federal abortion rights at the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court, dominated by judges either appointed by or aligned with Trump, had gained more than 99.7 million views as of Saturday, and some of Fuentes' political opponents retaliated by publishing his home address on social media while declaring, "Your house, my choice." Okay, like I said, for obvious reasons, I can't encourage or condone doxing and stuff like that. I just can't do it. I get it. Fuentes is a bad guy. I just can't encourage that kind of behavior. I can't do that, okay? I just can't do it. Rose ultimately told police that she had gone to record the outside of Fuentes' home in the Chicago area suburb of Berwyn on the 10th of November. He soon allegedly pepper sprayed her, pushed her onto the concrete, and broke her cell phone. Video of the encounter that Rose later released showed Fuentes open his front door as she reached up to ring the doorbell. He extended his left arm while holding a bottle of pepper spray, which prompted Rose to say, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" The phone was then seen falling, while Fuentes could be heard saying, "Get the fuck out of here." Fuentes then seemingly used his foot to drag the phone inside his house before closing the door and locking it. The police report filed on the 11th of November said another woman driving by Fuentes' house at the time called officers. That witness described seeing a man shove a woman outside of a home, the report recounted. Rose was still at the scene when police arrived, and officers reportedly spoke to her as well as Fuentes separately. The report added that Fuentes claimed to police that he had received death threats as well as people showing up to his house unannounced after posting a political joke online. A political joke. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that was a joke. You're a person who has very controversial opinions, and that seems to be like the common like go-to for a lot of these like, you know, alt-right freaks is anytime they say something really fucked up, it's just, "Oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. You know, I should be allowed to tell jokes. It's just a joke, guys." Like, come on, don't give me that crap. Political joke had left him in fear of his life. Oh man, poor Fuentes feared his life. I feel so bad. Not. He eventually became uncooperative and refused to further address the confrontation with Rose, as NBC News reported. Rose had watery eyes, but listed no other visible physical injuries, the report said. Possible punishments for misdemeanor battery under Illinois law include relatively short jail sentences, probation, and fines. Some of the earliest news media outlets given to Fuentes came when he withdrew from the Boston University after participating in the 2017 white supremacist rally, objecting to the removal of a statue of a Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Charlottesville, Virginia. A demonstrator protesting the white supremacist was murdered by a neo-Nazi sympathizer who intentionally drove a car into her as well as others. Trump then ignited a scandal by hosting Fuentes as a dinner guest at his Mar-a-Lago resort in 2022 as he geared up to run for a secondary presidency. Another guest at the dinner was the rapper previously known as Kanye West, who had propagated anti-Semitic remarks that, among other consequences, cost him a business partnership with the sportswear company Adidas. Jesus. So, yeah, it looks like he's going to be facing charges for this incident and potentially legal action as well. So, I guess we're going to have to see how that plays out. But as the article mentioned, he was released the same day he was arrested. He did kind of flaunt his mugshot on social media. And currently, it looks like he's selling merch of his mugshot. So, he's pulling a Donald Trump and trying to profit off of his arrest by selling merch. Is this merch any good even? It's literally just a picture of the mugshot in the center of like t-shirts and sweaters and stuff like that. So really garbage tier merch. I've seen like low tier YouTubers make better merch. So there you have it, chat. I predicted it, that he was going to face some kind of legal repercussions for his actions, and sure enough, He did. He got arrested, and now he's going to be in court soon, facing charges and potentially end up in civil court as well, as the victim seeks some kind of damages for what happened to her. So I'll definitely share updates with this situation with you guys as they come out. But for now, it's just really funny. I called it, chat. I said he was probably going to get arrested for this shit. And guess what? That's exactly what happened.